guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Dylan McGrath, and it's Street Beef Saturday, so it's time for us to watch some Street Beefs. But before we do, I wanted to shout out to Badge of Honor. I've got my Scrapologist shirt now. You guys can get these shirts at the link in the description below. You can also cop a hoodie while you're there. I haven't popped my hoodie open yet, but it is getting colder here in NC, so hoodies are available, shirts in men and women's sizes at the link below. You guys can get anything on their website with the code SCRAP20 for 20% off your entire order. These designs, this logo, all the stuff you guys see on the channel is all designed by Alex Pokey of Badge of Honor, who is a big friend and supporter of the channel. Obviously, both he and Shazil of Badge of Honor. Big shout outs to them for hooking the t-shirts up, putting them online, selling them for me, all of that good stuff, and continuing to make great assets for the channel. So before we get started, guys, just like and subscribe if you like the content. Got more kind of stuff with me and Trevor doing the podcast. There will be an official podcast for the channel here in like the next month. Just need to set up a space to record it at, and it's good to go. Other than that, I do have a kind of a special announcement that I'm going to start looking at some other types of videos to make, namely videos about martial arts movies. I'm a huge martial arts movie fan, and that's kind of what really inspired me to get into the martial arts in the first place when I was a kid. And so we're going to be looking at some different martial arts movies on the channel here soon. But today is Street Beef Saturday. We're here to watch some Street Beefs. I got 2 fights picked out for us, courtesy of friends of the channel who recommended them to me. Just going to shrink my face up here. Be sure, like I said, guys, like and subscribe. It means a lot to me.
I'm Drew, fighting out of Nebraska City, North Carolina.
Okay. What the hell did he just say? Drew, the man with no tag. In Street Beefs, you got to have a tag. They don't want you to fight under your real name. They want to have something they can market, or something like Blackie Chan, or some kind of cool, memorable handle. It's like a gamer tag. If you're familiar with competitive esports, competitive gaming, that's kind of the scene that I came out of. But secondly, I have no idea what city he just said. It sounded like he said Russell City, North Carolina, which is not a city.
Russell City, North Carolina.
Russell City, maybe?
Fighting out of Nebraska City. Fighting out of Nebraska City. Nebraska City, North Carolina.
Maybe Nebraska City is what I keep hearing over and over again. I've been all over North Carolina, my friends. I've never heard of this place. So no idea what kind of access the training Drew has available to him is. Sam the Dingus, meanwhile.
Sam the Dingus from Canterbury. Just shout out to Daddy Man. Thanks.
Shout out to Daddy Matt.
Street Beefs.
Thanks.
We're back again. Shout out to our sponsors, Johnny Apple CBD.
Intro,
Go to the website, promo code BEEF, 25% discount. Another MMA match.
I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
In this corner,
audio
we got
coming
Drew.
through super loud. Oh, he's got the Hayabusa O&O shorts. If you attend enough amateur fight shows in your life like I have, I've only been in this scene for 3 or 4 years, but you've been to as many shows as I have, which is about 100 shows now. You will see this pair of shorts, particularly the blue ones, but this pair of shorts constantly. These are the debut amateur fighter, never been in a fight before shorts that you wear when you come out for your first walkout. And man, that is that is sign number 1. Second sign, RDX gloves. RDX, they make decent equipment, but they are known for being the most affordable equipment. And there are certain things in life that you can't get away with being cheap on. One of them is mic arms. This mic arm, for instance, is a piece of shit. I spent maybe 30 bucks on it. So, I've got one that's 60 bucks on the way and is way better. Chef's knives, I would never spend less than $100 on a good knife. MMA gear is one of those things where you get what you pay for. I imagine if I was a rock climber and I was climbing, Mount Everest, I would want the best of the best equipment. If I'm going in there to fight another man who's trying to kill me, I would want the best of the best equipment. Oh, he looks so nervous. The shifty eyes. Yeah, he looks like a default created character from UFC 3.
We got Sam the Dingus.
Specifically 3.
He's 0-1 in Satan's back.
The basketball shorts do worry me. Background Street Beefs, guys. Of course, I always talk about it in these videos. They're worth paying attention to. What's going on with this guy? He looks like John Redcorn. This crazy ass ref. Yeah, so Sam's got the no-name solid black gloves with the basketball shorts. He looks more like a created character from UFC 4, because in UFC 4 your character starts out on like a circuit that is like more amateur.
Ready?
With plain old plain Jane shorts. And I think those might be ring to cage gloves. I think I've seen. Oh, he takes a clean shot. Drew with the check hook. I like Drew working with the front kick though. Sam's a little squirrely. Nice clean 1-2 from Drew, and he's feinting. I mean, this guy's clearly got a little bit of experience. I wonder who he fights for. I wonder if he fights for Hobbs MMA. Hobbs is a kind of a small town gym near where I'm from. Maybe he's within driving distance of them. But like, if a guy from Hayastan or one of the big gyms fought on Street Beefs, you would definitely see them wearing their gym gear and not this Hayabusa stuff. All right, Drew is kind of putting a clinic on Sam the Dingus so far, guys. A lot of people told me to check out Sam the Dingus, so I wanted to go back to his first fight on Street Beefs. I think this is #1 for him. This is the oldest one I could find, upload date-wise. He's going for a north-south choke. Whoa. Okay, so Drew very clearly knows what he's doing on the ground. He immediately goes for that north-south choke, and his striking wasn't terrible either. You know, his striking was pretty good also on the feet. So, you know, he doesn't have his body weight is way too much to the side to really finish this north-south choke. Sam has kind of walked his feet back in a way that kind of makes it a little bit easier, but now he's starting to adjust and making it harder, and he's getting out. And Sam's scrambling up. He's working on a single leg here, but you see that Drew pushes the weight forward, and now he's looking for a guillotine. Man, Drew is a submission attacking machine, but I heard that clacker, and you know with Street Beefs, it is so hard, so hard to finish a guy on the ground because you need that time to work most of the time. Although I will say, that north-south choke seemed to be pretty close.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so Sam the Dingus, a little weird on the feet, a little squirrely, a little awkward. But Drew, oh, see, this is the...
Make this have fun. Are you having fun out there? You look good,
Have a
dude.
blast.
Yes, listen, go out there and take your time out there. When you get in north south, remember, get your arm all the way under there and get palm to palm next to you in that position. Take your time and get these positions. Also, don't forget the elbows.
Good coaching, good cornering, but I would say that I would not try to coach a fighter through a submission way after they've already cleared it, because you'd have no guarantee if he's going to be able to get to north-south again. So why are we talking about north-south choke? Wait till he's in north-south, then start yelling about palm-to-palm and stuff like that. Talk to him more a little bit about what you saw from Sam the Dingus, which what I saw is a pretty big uncomfortability on the ground. And, you know, even though he is pretty much winning the exchanges on the feet, too. I will say that Drew, this is so far very one-sided for Drew. Harris sign. Okay, maybe he's from northern North Carolina because he's got a Richmond-based logo on his belt line. And Richmond's not terribly far from the North Carolina border, but when you get up there, you start really getting into the sticks as far as NC goes. God, he is raining. He's raining down. He's working for arm triangle again. We saw him kind of jump on that arm triangle and he turned it into a north-south earlier. But getting the fight to the ground this early is, you know, in Street Beefs, this is what you need if you want to submit a guy. You got to get it to the ground in the first 10 seconds, 30 seconds of the round.
1 minute.
See, he's got a minute right now. And honestly, with a guy like this with strikes, you should be able to submit him in a minute if you are striking. He's kind of doing a lot of pressure. He could just probably posture up and finish him. I mean, he's in full mount. And at Street Beefs, they don't like unanswered shots too much. They'll stop it pretty quick. You see the ref's getting a real close look at this. And now he's like sneaking in for like an Ezekiel almost, but that's never going to work. Even on a guy who has no idea what he's doing.
30 seconds.
You have to be like a Ezekiel master, like Alexia Linus or somebody like that. Sam with the classic sweep to full guard. A very good day one type of maneuver there. Something you learn in the first 3 months of jiu-jitsu that you will use throughout your entire jiu-jitsu career, that sweep.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
So Sam ends up on top again in this headlock. This is kind of the same position they were in last round. 2 bad rounds for Sam the Dingus, and his shock jock is torn also, or shock doctor shock jock. Got the Fiji bottle.
Ready? Let's fight!
No coaching. That sucks. Just gives him water and then washes his mouth guard off. Not a lot of coaching. Yeah, just a lot of like unfamiliarity on the feet and like unsureness of the strikes. That's the third time in 3 rounds where he's kicked to the body and gotten taken down off of it. And usually that comes when you don't set up a body kick, and it's really obvious when you're going to body kick. But Sam has a big problem returning to his base. So if you don't snap your leg back into the base, you're going to get taken down pretty easily, or caught and then elbowed or whatever. You know, different styles of fighters will have different follow-ups on something like a caught kick. I like it by Drew to let him up here because it's not been hard on the feet for him to get these takedowns, so he can take him down again and again. And Sam's so tired. Oh wow, the spinning shit feint where you look over your shoulder. I mean, that's what reaction are you looking to bait out of a guy on this level when you do a spinning bait? Because it's not like you've baited him into swinging big and missing on you before. Every time you've taken him down, it's been off of a successful strike by him.
Hey, address the choke! Address the choke! Address the choke!
Yeah, Sam, you gotta do something about that choke. Yeah, this might be over.
Grab the thumb! Grab the thumb! You got 30 seconds!
Wow. That should be... Oh, wow, he's good. Thumbs up. That's the best defense.
Grab the thumb, Dingus. Grab his thumb and release the
Best
choke.
defense. And see, also pushing your mouth guard out and making an airway for you, it's kind of... I don't know.
9, 8,
It's a sign that it's pretty close to end.
5, 4,
He's going to survive. Well, that's all he's going to do. 10, 15 more seconds. If Drew would have just... So the problem is, if you go back and watch... We'll just go back and watch this last sequence. This fight was pretty lackluster overall, so let's just look at the little bit of technique that was on display here. This is where it started. Took him down. Immediately he tries to go kind of over to mount, but this wall gets in the way, and Sam's doing a good job of like forming a defensive barrier with his foot.
Hey, address the choke! Address the choke!
But then you start hearing people talk about the choke, and you realize that he's on this choke from the side, and this sucks, and it will make you do something. And Sam reacts accordingly by rolling to his back, though, which is the wrong way. When you're getting choked, you don't want to roll into the choke like Sam is doing here. You want to try to roll as hard as you can, shifting your hips the other way so that you can end up facing your opponent. First mistake. Second mistake was obviously punching your way out of a rear naked choke. But the reason why he's fine is look at the spines. The spines are not aligned, bro. The spines need to be aligned on Channel 5 Worldwide Live. See, now he's working closer to the back, but Sam's got that foot locked in 3/4 mount. And if I'm Drew here, I'm looking to clear that so that I can get more steadily on the back. But even with a good, solid grip like that, as long as your spine is not, you know, right on top of his, he's going to find some way to breathe. You don't have full... You know, you don't have full lock, full control. That artery on this side that is in his chest is just not getting compressed. And when you're doing a rear naked choke on someone, you're looking to compress both of these arteries here. So if you're not aligned with them, your bicep isn't cutting this one off. This one looks like it's getting cut off because Sam's very uncomfortable. But you really got to crank the neck if you want to finish a guy from right here.
That's it, break.
So yeah, pretty one-sided affair from Drew. We'll watch Sam's next fight next weekend. The one that and honestly, the one that people sent me to actually watch is the next one after this one. So I wanted to go back and see if I could see the beginning of a career in Street Beefs and then kind of work my way up there. So if people are talking about this guy now and sending me his videos now, then probably a sign that he does get better. But we'll find out next week because we got to guarantee
any coward can pull a
banger. I looked at this one uploaded 7 days ago and saw that it had 2 minute and 42 second runtime, and I said to myself, that is a guaranteed banger for the end of Street Beef Saturday. So let's watch this last one here. Zaytoven versus Slushie. I love the new intro too. Like, this is pretty sweet. Why is it so quiet? Okay. I don't know if that was my headset or what. The new Street Beefs theme. Street Beefs. Nice with the hands on me.
5'8", 155, Slushie, representing Section 8 of MMA, baby.
Section 8 MMA. I know them quite well. I forget the name of their head coach there. It's not called Section 8 anymore. It used to be called Section 8. It's now called something else. It's a jiu-jitsu program here in North Carolina. So, yeah, lots of NC guys make their way up for these Street Beefs fights, man. And this is a good way to, like, this is a good way, especially if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, this is a good way to find out if your jiu-jitsu is legit enough to handle yourself in a fight. Because Street Beefs is not, you know, it's not on that level of taking a fight at an amateur card where all the gyms are sending people that they've been preparing for a year. This is like a good 6 months to a year, year and a half of training, testing ground.
55, Slushie, representing Section 8 of MMA, baby.
If it's the same Section 8 MMA as I'm familiar with, it's obviously it could be a very common name.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, get back in here, show that I'm not wasting time trying to get better out here.
Already super sweaty. And I'm the same way, my brother. Zaytoven, I feel you. I do a light warm-up before, jiu-jitsu class, and I am soaked.
Street Beefs. Back.
Scarface is cold, bro.
Shout out to
I got the
Scarface's
fire
Street
going.
Stories. Go check out my channel. Shout out to Street Beefs GoPro. In this corner, we got Slushie. He's 2-0 in Satan's backyard.
Mm.
And in this corner, we got Zaytoven.
Zaytoven. Oh, it's like Beethoven.
Be safe, fellas.
I should have
Fight
figured
on.
that out. I'm such an idiot.
Come to the center, touch gloves real quick. We went over the rules. You guys have any questions?
The Iraqi assassin.
Both of you. Back to the corner.
Best Street Beefs refs, hands down.
All right, let's go.
Got the fire going in the back. You know that smell, that smell of firewood while you're fighting. Yeah, Hubao Karaoke patch on the back there. Yeah, so that patch right there on that rash guard, Professor Hubao, very well celebrated jiu-jitsu black belt here in North Carolina. Many affiliated gyms, including that Section 8 school, Evolution Fitness in Concord, Shell Shock BJJ here locally in Raleigh, Fuquay-Varina area. So yeah, this guy, I kind of have an idea of what his game is going to be like because that Hubao system is pretty stringent on getting top control and diving on, and really smashing people out. So on bottom, they do tend to struggle a little bit more. They just don't really have any kind of bottom specialist black belts that I know of besides like Sean Burton. Like Sean Burton is kind of a leg lock specialist. This is a free armbar. Yep. Oh, that's a good defense. That's a good defense. Oh, but now the triangle's there. Wow, good switch from Slushie. Man, that was a sweet finish by Slushie. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. And let's check it out. So, that Hubao Karaoke, the Hubao gym, they pride themselves on very fundamental Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that leads to position, dominance, then submission. And he never got positional dominance here, but that didn't matter because Slushie's got a good bottom game. As I was talking about, how I don't know of any bottom specialists from their gym, he shows me that he's very comfortable on the bottom. That's what they call the commentator's curse, Okay, so he starts stacking up immediately, and when a guy does that the first time, you gotta figure something out. Because he's going for an arm bar, so you can't let this arm continue to get further isolated. What I like to do is I like to rear naked choke grip the arm. Like let's say this arm is being attacked and isolated. I'll take this arm and slide it over like this and lock it up. That way they can't try to bend it without fighting the other arm and going against the strength of two systems basically. Now this is where things get very, very dangerous, and it's not illegal to do, so you should probably just put your knee on your opponent's head if you're going to stack here. And he does try to step out here, but stepping out is not going to free your arm. You have to kind of step in. That way your opponent doesn't have the chance to stretch out and like activate those hips. Because once the hips are like activated and you like kind of go forward with the arm bar, it's usually enough to pressure to make somebody panic tap. Okay, so this is the beginning of what he tries to swing over And he tries to kind of do what's called a hitchhiker defense by what he was going to do is circle out, but then Slushie started rolling backwards, which made him roll onto his butt. And rolling onto your back is a good defensive, it's a good answer to this particular escape. And if they're not able to get around your legs, then the armbar is all but guaranteed. And you can see that he's in a lot of pain right there, right? Like his arm's getting extended. This is the beginning of the hitchhiker escape. So what you do is you turn your thumb and you want your hips to pass over their shoulder and body so that you can kind of untwist. You can put your arm at an angle where it's not in threat of being extended. You can only be folded further in. But he doesn't get all the way around. And I don't know if that's because of something Slushie did or he did change directions. But so he does. I mean, in my opinion, he could have put this knee over the shoulder and started walking and been out. But he changes direction. And when you change direction, you're putting yourself either back in the guard, like best case scenario. Worst case scenario is this. Pick him up and slam. Do you know how hard that is to do? That is horrid coaching. At 155, when the guys are built like this, you're not going to pick him up and slam him when he weighs more than you. Like, the guy, he's way too... Zaytoven is way too skinny. All right, but yeah, Slushie...
Pull a trigger.
Slushie going 3-0. Yeah, 7 days ago. I really want to know where these Street Beefs fights take place, because I keep seeing North Carolina gyms affiliated here fighting on this show. And I would love to go check one out and just hang out there. And I would try not to talk too much shit, really. But anyway, guys, that's 20 minutes. Wow, that's a long Street Beef Saturday. Definitely the longest one we've done so far. I have, as you see, like a new camera and a new mic arm coming in. I'm thinking about doing some streaming or something like that. Let me, get rid of this, yeah, I'm thinking about doing some streaming or something like that. I'm not sure what I would stream. I play a ton of fighting games, but I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in actually watching. But yeah, quality on the YouTube channel is just going to continue to go up as long as you guys continue to support me. So please like and subscribe, and be sure to follow along with us as we journey deeper into the sport of MMA. And this is Scrapologist over and out.